and this is basically a complete kit from Nextbase, including the hardwire. So hardest part for this and most of these sort of installations is getting from the rear of the vehicle, I mean the hatch back part of the rear of the vehicle, into the car and down, and you have to go through the grommets. In the grommets you've got plastic clips which then go into the rubber grommet, which then clips in and holds in. These are very fragile and they break. We try not to take more apart than you need to. So on this vehicle I've taken the boot all apart to get the plastic trim off. Normally there's a couple of screws up here. All of this trim will come off down the bottom. There'll normally be a screw or a clip in each corner here and here, and then this part is all clipped on. But on this vehicle, this is a Volkswagen Audi group, this is a Skoda, you can actually unclip 1, 2, I think 3 clips, and you get enough play on this to then be able to get through. This is filament for a 3D printer, so I use this to work from there round, and then once you're through and you've got your rear camera mounted up here, you then have to run the camera wiring down to the front. You have airbags all the way down either the passenger or driver side of the headlining, and you also need to do it without damaging the headlining. Again, very hard. You have to be very careful, take all the rubber seals off, try and drop the headlining down and tuck the wiring up behind the airbag. You can't really cable tight, there isn't anything to cable tight to or put it up to, but you have to tuck it round and up and out the way. So I'm going to finish up here and I'll show you what this looks like all in a minute, but I just wanted to show you how hard this part here is. So I'll get this rear camera on, I'll put this back together and I'll show you how this looks. Okay, quick cut back in. See on this rear window here, there's lines in it. That's a DAB antenna. Because of that, you need to put the suppressor, it needs to come right at the back. So again, that's another thing you have to try and fit behind the trim. I'm going to pull this cable through in a second and get rid of all this extra cable, and then I've got to mount that up behind there. But yeah, you'll get to see what it looks like at the rear once it's done, but I just thought I'd mention the suppressor needs to be fitted. A bit longer. How much work does it actually take to this hardwired dash cam? There we go. So that's how the rear looks. Nice and tidy. The wiring comes around now through the grommet. It's all clipped back up. It's not going to let any water in. I'm just going to clean the glass. Get rid of all them handprints from where I was working around the trim. Another thing to note, the DAB antennas that I said are here, these lines, they've run through this grommet. That's why I've gone through that grommet to stop interference. Right, so I'm going to clean this glass up, get rid of these hand fingerprints, and we'll work running the cable down the car. So here's the headlining. As you can see, you have to pull the headlining down, which I wouldn't recommend unless you know what you're doing. And here's the airbag. I can't show you me doing this part, but this is sort of where you need to be very careful. Obviously we're going to have to go all the way down and then run the A-pillar at the front. So just thought I'd show you that. It's another part that's involved in doing the rear camera hardwire. So I'll cut in again when we get nearer the front. So once we've hidden all the wiring up out the way of the airbag, you then have the A-pillar to deal with. So here's the A-pillar trim. You have to know how to take these off. I've just unclipped this one, run all the wiring down, made it all nice and neat down here. And you need to know what to do with the wiring on the end and where to connect it to. I'll tidy that up in a minute. And then the other thing is running the cable around the headlining and mounting the camera in a nice location. So I'm just going to do this part now, tuck all this extra wiring up here, and I'll show you how we do that. So we are now at the end of the installation. So far this has taken me about an hour and 45 minutes as a professional to do this job. The camera is up here, as you can see. The cables are all nicely hidden and just disappear up to the headlining all the way across. Everything's tidy. We've then gone to the fuse box, done a very nice tidy installation at the fuse box with the power lead for the camera, and the excess cable for the rear camera is also tucked in here out of the way. So it should now turn on. And now I'll just go through the setup of the camera.